This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Friday, January 10th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Yesterday afternoon, the Fraternal Order of Police, representing the Anne Arundel County police officers, made an endorsement for the Keep Our Judges slate of judges, which are up for election this year. The slate is made up of Anne Arundel County Circuit Court Judge Pamela Albin, Judge Elizabeth Morris, and Judge Rob Thompson, and the fourth one, which is a judge designee, Richard Trunell, who has not even been sworn in as a judge yet. Obie Atkinson, who is the president of the local FOP lodge, said that these judges have been vetted and have the right experience to continue serving on the bench. I'm not quite sure how he can say that when one of them isn't even on the bench. This is just like the League of Conservation Voters, who regularly endorse prior to even knowing who's playing the game. All that aside, I'm not even sure how I feel about the police as a unit endorsing judges. Hey, you remember all the polls from the last 4 years or so that say that Governor Larry Hogan is the second most popular governor in the country? He has lost his number 2 spot. Yes, Governor Hogan is now the number 1 most popular governor in the country. According to a Gonzalez research poll, he has bounced out Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker for that top spot with a 75% approval rating. What's more incredulous about it is that 73% of Democrats approve of the job he is doing, 77% of the Republicans, and 78% of the independents. An Annapolis nonprofit, the Oyster Recovery Partnership, has announced that Ward Slacum has been named as the new executive director of the organization. He had served as the Oyster Recovery Partnership's Director of Operations since 2014, and he was selected after a 2-month executive search came up a little bit blank. Slacum does have a broad background in marine and estuary science and has been supporting Chesapeake Bay restoration for the past 20 years through research and cooperative programs with local watermen. For those that aren't aware, the Oyster Recovery Partnership is a nonprofit that manages many of the state's oyster restoration work projects, including a multi-year strategy to restore oyster population in 5 Chesapeake Bay tributaries, one of which is the Severn River, and replanting public oyster reefs available for commercial harvest. Since being established in 1994, the organization has planted 8.5 billion juvenile oysters in Maryland waters. They are also responsible for reclaiming used oyster shells. They lay claim to 200,000 bushels of them through the Shell Recycling Alliance. They do such good work, and actually about a year ago, we were out with them on the Severn River when they were planting another couple million spat. If you're interested in seeing the video and the information on that, you can go to eyeonannapolis.net, and in the search box, just put in Oyster Recovery Partnership. It's probably like the 3rd result that you would get there. Out with the old and in with the new. Up in Severna Park, the old Annapolis Seafood Market, which used to be there in that shopping center on the west side of Ritchie Highway, had been vacant for about 9 months, and now it is just opened up again as Sullivan's Cove. It is a seafood and steakhouse. It opened on January 4th with a 150-seat dining room. I'll have to get up there to check it out, but it is open 7 days a week, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Sundays through Wednesdays, and until 1:30 or 2 a.m. on the weekends. Might be a cool new hotspot up in Severna Park. All right, that does it for us for the top news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net because we do update it throughout the day. If you're someplace that you can give us a rating or a review, please do that. It helps us out, and we would appreciate it. It is Friday, so we do have a short list of things for you to consider this weekend because it is playoff weekend and the Ravens are in the playoffs. And of course, as we have every day, George Young is here with your local DMV weather forecast, and he's coming up in just 1 minute.
Hello, friends. This is Brian Griffiths from RedMaryland.com, inviting you to the 2020 RedMaryland.com Leadership Conference, Saturday, January the 11th, 2020 at the Doubletree Hotel in Annapolis. Confirmed speakers include Congressman Andy Harris, Commerce Secretary Kelly Schultz, Transportation Secretary Pete Ron, Senator J.B. Jennings, Senator Steve Hershey, Senator Justin Reedy, Delegate Nick Kipke, Delegate Kathy Schlega, Delegate Lauren Erican, WBAL Radio's Andrew Langer and Jerry Rogers, Maryland Federation of Republican Women President Diana Waterman, Maryland Young Republicans Chairman Maria Sophia, Lauren Bogley from the Maryland Right to Life, and so much more. Tickets are available at redmarylandconference.com. Sponsorship opportunities and vendor tables are also available. That's redmarylandconference.com. Don't miss out on your opportunity to attend the redmaryland.com Leadership Conference, Saturday, January the 11th in Annapolis. Once more, buy your tickets now at redmarylandconference.com.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Friday, January 10th. Yesterday was definitely a wintertime January day with cold highs in the 30s, despite plenty of sunshine. But today will be very different despite tons of clouds, as the airflow into the region will come from a more southerly direction, which will transport warmer temps in the 50s to the Annapolis region before even warmer air in the 60s moves in for both Saturday and Sunday, with rain chances way up Saturday, especially in the PM and overnight hours, lasting a bit into Sunday morning before some clearing begins in the PM hours Sunday to close out the weekend. So while not a total washout by any means this weekend, it will be gray and wet for a good portion, but definitely find a way to get out and about while staying dry to take advantage of high temps that will be some 20 to 25 plus degrees above average for this time of year. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great weekend out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMD VA Weather in the Apple or Google App Store, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
When a ring from the United States Naval Academy comes into Zacharys for a center stone, it always makes us wonder, where's this one going? Where's this one been? A nuclear sub in the North Atlantic? A carrier deck in the South Pacific? The moon? 52 astronauts are Academy graduates, from Iwo Jima to Okinawa, Corregidor to the Coral Sea, Midway to the Persian Gulf, Congress to the White House. These rings go where America goes. 73 that went to war were awarded the Medal of Honor. But wherever they go, wherever they may serve, our admiration goes with them.
Zacharys. Online at zacharysjewelers.com. More than a jewelry store, a jeweler.
Every weekend, there's something exciting going on in the Annapolis area. Be sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net to sign up for a newsletter highlighting all the weekend events. Here are our top picks for this weekend.
It looks like we're in the doldrums of winter. Not a whole lot going on, but there are some fun things going on. Tonight, there's Kids Night Out with Abominable at the Claybakers on Main Street in Annapolis. Yes, you can drop your kid off at 6 p.m. They're going to watch the movie Abominable, and then they will sit down at the tables and paint up some pottery pieces, tell some stories, have some fun, and chow down on some pizza. So if you're looking for a date night out with your significant other, your husband or your wife, that might be a good opportunity to ditch the kids. If you're more into yourself, you may want to try the Silent Disco Yoga Party. I've got to admit that I stopped and looked at this one just because of the name. And this is being put on by Yoga Biaz out of Edgewater, and it's being held at Prism, which is the artist building right on Westgate Circle, sort of catty corner from the Westin Hotel. This does get underway at 6 p.m. And if you're not familiar with the silent disco, what it is you get wireless headphones that you wear and only you can hear the music that's in there. Other people will join you. They'll be listening to a little bit different music. And at the same time, you do yoga. Kind of neat. We'll definitely have some fun. Definitely come away a little bit mesmerized. After the yoga class, there will be an after party as well, which is going to have adult libations. That means beer and wine, light fare, and a Lululemon pop-up shop. And Saturday, for you conservatives out there, it is the 2020 redmaryland.com Leadership Conference. This is going to be held at the Doubletree Hilton in Annapolis. That's right on Holiday Court. You can still get tickets at eventbrite.com. And if you're a conservative, or maybe if you're not a conservative and you just want to know what the conservative voice is all about in Maryland, this is something you may want to attend to. The event's designed to bring conservatives together from across the state to discuss the future of conservatism in Maryland. Lunch is included with your ticket price. And some of the speakers they have lined up are U.S. Representative Andy Harris, Maryland Commerce Secretary Kelly Schultz, who is probably going to be making a run for governor, Senator J.B. Jennings, Senator Justin Reddy, Delegate Nip Kipke here from Anne Arundel County, House Minority Whip Kathy Slaga, Andrew Langer from WBAL, and many more. You can find out more information at redmaryland.com if you're interested in that. And they have assured me that they will be done with that conference well before the Ravens take on the Titans. Yes, that game gets underway at 8:15 p.m. Make sure you get your purple on, and let's push the Ravens into the next round. Looking ahead into next week, next Tuesday night, there's a really interesting presentation that's going to be put on by the Caucus of African American Leaders at the Wiley Bates Legacy Center. It happens on Tuesday at 5 p.m., goes till about 8 p.m. The actual presentation doesn't get underway till 6. They do offer you a free dinner from 5 to 6. But we've heard the term hate crime an awful lot lately, and Anne Arundel County actually is the one jurisdiction in the state that has seen an incredible increase in what they're calling hate crimes. The school system has seen more hate bias incidents than ever before, and trying to figure out what's going on and what it really means. The Caucus of African American Leaders has invited Anne Arundel County State's Attorney Ann Colt-Litis, law enforcement officials, as well as members of the Maryland General Assembly to discuss it and lay it all out. And I do know that Delegate Chang from up in Glen Burnie is introducing legislation now to modify what is the existing hate crime legislation to make it a little bit more all-encompassing. Again, that is on Tuesday, January 14th. Gets underway at 5 p.m. with a free dinner from 5 to 6, and then the program gets underway from 6 to 8 at the Wiley Bates Legacy Center on Smithville Street. All right, that does it for the weekend. Whatever you do, do it safely. Cheer on the Ravens. We will see you here on Monday.
Here's to the teacher who spends her weekend helping children who need a little extra attention. To the soldier who missed the birth of his baby while serving overseas. To the EMT working full-time and taking night classes. To the police officers and firefighters working long hours away from their families to keep our families safe. Here's to you, our hometown heroes. I'm Alan Hyatt, Chairman and President of Severna Bank, and we know there are many heroes among us. Men and women who serve without expecting anything in return. Which is why we're honored to offer our Hometown Heroes program to educators, law enforcement officers, firefighters, first responders, healthcare workers, and military personnel. Whether you're opening a checking account or buying a new home, we're here to give back to you. Learn more about our Hometown Heroes program at severnbank.com. Severna Bank, here with you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.